Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this time it's about electro-harmonix Mig-50 50-watt tube amp. Alright, the song you heard, I wrote it specifically for this video, inspired by this amp. And the Noodling, well, it's kind of Cliffs of Dover thing. It's been so many years since I played that, but you know, that Eric Johnson kind of stuff. I had a little bit of stereo delay and pitch shift after that, so the sound is a bit wider and then slight amount of reverb. The same effect I had on the song. Now it's just tiny amount of room reverb so that you would hear the sound, the tone, as close as possible as I'm hearing it now. Here I'm monitoring myself via the two generic monitors behind. Signal, chain and gear. ESP LTD Phoenix Duncan Custom Fat Cat, which is P90 single coil. Then the pedal board. I didn't use any overdrives, nothing except those aforementioned delay stuff, which I added afterwards when I mixed the song, what I had on when I was noodling, you know, to the track insert. So I didn't use anything. Then the signal goes from pedal board to the KHE amp switcher and to a couple of, well, all of these amps, but I'm gonna compare these to the Plexi because they're pretty close. This is actually more like a Fender Bassman kind of thing, but you know, in that ballpark. And then back to KHE and then to Sandrock's reactive load, where I use my signature IR, Valovirta from Jens Bugren's lead and cleanback. The IR works and everything. And then the signal goes to Steinberg UR816C audio interface, and I'm recording these too. Cubase. Okay, so yeah, the amp, it's kind of like Plexi, but a little bit more kind of that Fender style, like a little bit more scooped mids and softer. Reminds me a lot of Fender Bassman. I've recorded with the Bassman. At least on one Suburban Tribe album we recorded some stuff. I think we had a Bassman, and probably on Shinings stuff too, or maybe it was Tweed. But anyway, you know, I felt really comfortable immediately when I plugged it in. You know, simple amp, simple stuff. A couple of, I wouldn't say disadvantages, but a little bit odds, because this has two inputs. Like Plexi has floor, like, you know, treble and, you know, bass inputs, and high and low gain. This has like high gain and low gain, which is a bit darker, but what I have now is Moore's ABI, just a switcher, so it's set to Y and then A to B. So I'm able to connect both, so then I can do like Plexi, so I can blend the signals with these volumes. But if I would have just one cable, so it's either bright or either the darker sounding channel, which is a bit odd. Because with Plexi it's really handy, you can blend it with a jumper cable. But with this one you kind of need to have an ABI box. So, and then you can have two inputs going into the amp. Now, let's check out this was basically the sound I used. So again, there's no master volume, so the more you dial in the volume, the louder the amp gets, and the more, you know, overdrive it adds. Let me put actually this a little bit louder. Yeah. So there's this velvety kind of Fendery kind of thing. And then the channel 1. Which is a lot darker, which is opposite than what Plexis have. So the channel 1 is the brighter. And with this ABI switch, I can blend these. I don't know why, but with this amp, it's so much, you know, for some reason I play Eric Johnson kind of stuff, because it's kind of this buttery and velvety. Really smooth, fantastic. And since it's quite a smooth and a bit dark, I pretty much the treble cranked. And the presence, it doesn't do much. Now it's cranked. So this is very, again, smooth and buttery amp. Okay, let's check out then the clean sound, neck pickup. Add a little bit of chorus. Just great. I've said this many times before, but man, these simple two channel amps, these are just like, because there's, you know, all those space stations with millions of knobs and sounds, and I feel like they have all the sounds in the world except the one most important sound or tone. Good tone, like just great overall. If the amp sounds great, it's like, it's just great. Okay, then let's check out what happens when I boost this. Check out the blues driver. That works really well with Plexi. Yeah, okay. SD. I find that SD, because it boosts the mids quite a lot, so it's great for solos. SD is just fantastic. Blues driver, I think it's a little bit, because it doesn't boost the mids, it's quite transparent, so it works really well with these Plexi type, Fender, Bassman, Tweed type amps. Okay, and what else? There's no effect loop, really basic, good old school amplifier. 50 watts. The power tubes are 5881s, there's a pair, and 312 AX7, which is easy C83 preamp tubes. Okay, let's compare this to Plexi. How they differ. You probably hear the Plexi it's quite a bit more. They're actually surprisingly close. But, well, it's not actually surprising because they're kind of in the same, you know, ballpark. Simple amps, simple controls, no master volume. And like you hear, these amps they actually have more gain than people usually think. Because I've used Plexi on well, not that many albums, mostly it's 800, but when I've used, like on my solo album, the Song for an Absent Friend, the leads, they just guitar into Plexi. I just did like this, so all to 10. And on some stuff, really high stuff, I added super overdrive just to have sustain. But these amps, they have quite a lot of gain, but obviously, because there's no master volume, you know, if I would use this cabinet, it would be like insanely loud, because everything goes, you know, there's no anything to control what goes from preamp section to power amp section. So the more you dial the loudness or the volume, the more volume, you know, it adds, but it adds more gain. And these tone controls are also, in a way, they're like also volume controls and gain controls. Because no master volume, there's no like gate in between the preamp and power amp section. So whatever you do, it goes directly to the power tubes. So let me show you. This is just one of the most beautiful feelings and sounds in the world. You know, everything then, you hear that, it's just sustains. These have character. I really like these old school amps. Conclusion, I think this is pretty fantastic. And the price, I think it's like $700-800 euros. I mean, this is 1987X is, I think it's like 1400 something. So this is almost half as cheap. I mean, yeah, Marshall is Marshall. I think it looks cooler. It's real Plexi. It's more in your face, that British. But if you're looking for a kind of between like Fender Bassman, that, you know, American softer mids, you know, a little bit smoother, and something between that and a Plexi, I think this is an excellent amp, and it's really cheap. I mean, high quality amp. Yeah, there's no effect loop, but you know, and you kind of have to have a ABI box to be able to do the Plexi thing, to use both channels simultaneously. But I mean, for the price, I think this is fantastic. I hope you found this interesting and informative. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like, subscribe. You know that stuff. All right, take care. See you next time. Bye.